You chose absolutely right tuning in to Rwanda Television News tonight. A very good evening to you. I hope that you had yourselves a great Monday, a great start at your brand new week. And now welcome to our tonight's edition. These are the headlines. President Paul Kagame emphasized the need for addressing the root cause of the long-standing insecurity in the eastern DR Congo. Motorcyclists in the city of Kigali applaud the decision to reverse the order of keeping headlights on during the day. And to international matters, voters flocked the ballot boxes in Senegal in a delayed presidential election. Many hope that it will bring the desired change. Greetings and good evening to you once again from wherever you are joining us from, and thanks for your company. As we started off, President Paul Kagame emphasized that addressing the root causes is essential for achieving a lasting solution to insecurity issues in the Great Lakes region. Adam Squizera starts us off tonight.
Said he was ready to meet you on two conditions.
In an exclusive interview with the managing editor of Jeune Afrique, François Soudan, President of the Republic of Rwanda Paul Kagame discussed various critical regional issues. President Kagame reiterated that there is no reason for Rwanda to be involved in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC.
Why, in any case, would Rwanda be involved if it were? Meaning, I'm asking, those who are accusing Rwanda of being involved in DRC or the forces of Rwanda being involved in DRC, I'm asking the same people, why do you think Rwanda would be involved in DRC? Would it be for fun? Is there fun that would put our forces on the ground in any situation, this time in Eastern DRC? And I'm saying this so that they don't escape the responsibility they have for why Rwandan forces would be in DRC if the forces were there.
This exclusive interview took place a week after a ministerial meeting between representatives from Rwanda and Democratic Republic of Congo met for high-level consultations meeting aimed at analyzing the issue of security and peace in Eastern DRC. Those discussions followed the reports that the president of DRC agreed to meet with his Rwandan counterpart, but certain instructions were to be followed by Rwanda before those discussions. President Kagame finds that such instructions cannot address the problem in the Eastern DRC.
You start by giving conditions. It's the wrong way to go about it. But I think sometimes people are playing to the gallery. They're posturing in the media, and if you talk about the preconditions, that would suggest that maybe we come up with conditions as well. I won't meet President Tshisekedi until he reverses his statements about attacking Rwanda and carrying out regime change in Rwanda, as he has publicly talked about. I would also say, well, unless FDLR is removed from Congo, I'm not going to talk to President Tshisekedi, and so on and on and on and on. So this does not serve the purpose of bringing about peace.
The head of state also emphasizes that deliberately ignoring the root cause of the problem of the M23 rebel group cannot be a solution to the issue of insecurity crisis and the increase of Congolese refugees across the Great Lakes region, including Rwanda.
By the way, sometimes people talk about M23 as these fighters, whatever name you call them, whatever you do against them. They have 100,000 people here as refugees in Rwanda. Some of them have been here for the last 23 years. Others less, but including the 15,000 or so who have come recently have been crossing the border almost on a daily basis. We have hundreds of families or dozens of families crossing every day, being targeted and uprooted from Eastern DRC. 15,000 have happened in this fighting. Refugees come in here. Now, if you may call M23 terrorists or this, or you want to sanction them, or are you sanctioning 100,000 people that are here as refugees? That means you are not addressing the problem at all.
President Kagame has expressed concern about the hate speech and ideologies spread by the senior officials in DRC, which could exacerbate tensions and potentially lead to genocide.
The hate speech, the preaching of this hate ideology, which leads to a genocide, and which is unfolding in Eastern Congo by other groups other than just FDLR, it's no longer an issue of numbers. If it is numbers, they have numbers. Maybe when you talk about few numbers of FDLR, that's one thing. But now there are FDLR plus many others in the environment in Congo, including the leaders. And if a country's president or leadership is actually going to embrace this hate ideology, you think that's a small thing?
For 30 years in the Democratic Republic of Congo, there has been a series of murderous acts against the Congolese Tutsi occurring under the watch of MONUSCO, the United Nations Organization Stabilization Mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
Economic analysts believe that Rwanda is on the right track to achieve its Vision 2050, including reaching a per capita income of $14,000 based on the progress made over the past 30 years. Finance and Economic Planning Minister Dr. Uziel Ndagijimana emphasized that these accomplishments stem from strategic initiatives and reforms within the economic sector. We do have the details. Rwanda embarked on an economic transformation journey marked by significant reforms in the financial sector following the devastating 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. In 1995, Rwanda's budget was 56 billion Rwandan francs, with foreign aid constituting over 90% of it. Fast forward to the 2018-2019 fiscal year, the budget soared to over 2.4 trillion Rwandan francs. For the 2023-2024 fiscal year, Rwanda's budget surged to over 5 trillion, with 87% sourced from domestic and external resources and 13% from external grants. The Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Dr. Uziel Ndagijimana, emphasized the remarkable economic growth witnessed over the past 3 decades.
kubera ingaruka za jenoside yakorewe abatutsi ubukungu bw'u Rwanda bwamanutse muri 50 munsi ya zero.
Due to the effects of the genocide against the Tutsi, Rwanda's economy fell by 50%. Since then, our economy has been rising at the rate of 7 to 8%, except the 3.4% contraction during the COVID-19 pandemic. Secondly, between 1995 and 2000, Rwanda depended on external grants at the rate of more than 70%. We currently stand at 13%. Also, our economy highly depended on agriculture, but there has been a shift in the past 30 years. PDD is still there, as indicated in the 2015 vision.
Rwanda's economic progress over the past 30 years is underscored by the evolution in its financial sector and the robust growth in its gross domestic product, GDP. In 2008, financial services reached 14% of the population, and the figure has surged to 93% as of today. In a notable achievement, Rwanda's economy surpassed expectations, exceeding the initial forecast of 6.2% to record an impressive growth rate of 8.2% in 2023. The agriculture sector contributed 27% of the country's GDP in 2023, while the industrial sector accounted for 22% and the service sector took the lead with 44%. The private sector, particularly in the industrial realm, commends the government's substantial subsidies such as import tax exemptions on raw materials, which have bolstered industrial operations and resulted in increased output.
ariko iyo witegereje usanga leta hari ibyo ikora kugira ngo tubone ibyo dukenera bitaduhenze.
When you look clearly, the government makes a great contribution in subsidies. Most of the raw materials that we use are tax exempted on entry, and we pay taxes after production. All these are the measures taken by the government to support industries. Sometimes back, we thought industrial experts are foreigners, but I can assure you that Rwandans provide support in many of the neighboring countries, and this is something everyone should applaud.
babereka uko inganda zikora ni ikintu gishimishije buri wese yanezererwa rwose.
In 1994, Rwanda's income per capita was $146, which increased to $778 by the year 2018. Currently, Rwanda's income per capita stands at $1,040, with projections indicating a rise to $4,000 by 2035 and $12,000 by 2050. Economic analyst Srato Habyarimana highlighted that the progress made over the past 30 years serves as a strong foundation for achieving the goals set for 2050.
Ubuyobozi dufite butekereza abanyarwanda kandi bukanareba kure bukagerageza kubana.
We have visionary leadership that constantly seek cooperation with other countries to learn from them and constantly innovate to achieve progress. If we keep such leadership, the speed of the development will continue or even more will be achieved. The other thing is that a big number of our population are the youth who think and act faster than old people. And from this, the future is secured because they were given the opportunity to play their role.
Uko tugenda tubona ibitekerezo bishya biturutse muri ubwo rubyiruko niko n'amahirwe y'igihugu kugira ngo dutere imbere akomeza kwiyongera.
The increase in non-agriculture jobs, be it industrial and service-based jobs, contributed to bettering citizens' welfare.
I came here and they gave me a job. I've been working here for a year and a half. Thanks to this factory, I was able to pay school fees and my younger sister finished high school. I want to pay for my other young sister as well. When I started working here, I was an assistant. Before, I used to ask everything from my husband. But now, I'm able to provide for my family. I am now an employee and I am paid on a monthly basis. I've had so much progress.
The infrastructure sector stands out as a crucial driver of development over the past 3 decades in Rwanda. Notably, the country has achieved significant milestones, including the construction and repair of 1,600 kilometers of tarmac roads, along with the establishment of 3,700 kilometers of feeder roads. Additionally, 2,160 kilometers of roads have been illuminated, enhancing safety and accessibility. Rwanda ranks second in Africa in terms of ease of investment, according to the Doing Business report conducted by the World Bank. This enhances the country's ability to attract foreign investors, leading to job creation and improved living standards for citizens, thereby bolstering their purchasing power. To education matters, the Ministry of Education has stated that it is going to step up efforts in building the capacity of educators and increase access to school materials in order to improve the quality of basic education. It was revealed on Monday in a symposium that focused on basic education. We have the details with Christelle Uwase.
The symposium's attendees were partners dominated by experts in this field of education and teachers. They were discussing what can be done to improve basic education in Rwanda as key players in this field. These teachers believe that the government's plan to improve the quality of education is on the right side, only that there are still some hindrances that need to be addressed as soon as possible.
Now, the education of Rwanda is progressing, even though we still have a journey. And the deterrence, of course, must be there. There is integration of ICT to those schools, especially public schools. It's not easy to implement that ICT. I think the government should organize that schedule, like making the schedule of learners being professional to them.
Even literacy is the area where the learners are slow. Speech is still a problem. That's why this area should be put more effort so that they can know. The government should train the teachers so that they can be aware of using them.
Various forms of using technology in teaching are becoming more productive in primary education in the country. These include Equip program, where educators use tablets and prepare lessons according to the curriculum and teach at the same time, being monitored by administrators using smartphones to ensure accountability. It has reached 761 schools across the country that are teaching in technology to increase the level of literacy. The Minister of Education, Gaspard Twagirayezu, says that such symposium is a good opportunity to highlight the achievements and address the existing challenges.
The second pillar is around teacher capacity. So we want to make sure that we support our teachers to make sure that they have the right knowledge and the right capacity to deliver on the content. And this is why we have actually even put in place different mechanisms like the primary teacher residency program that we have started. In the third pillar that we look at is the teaching and learning materials, because you can have the right curricula in place, we can have the right teachers in place, but we need teaching and learning materials, whether they are books for literacy, but also other science and technology materials.
Educational experts point out that the first 3 years of education are crucial for academic development of students. In general, the participants agreed that in order for the country's commitment to improve the quality of education and building knowledge-based economy, there is a need to increase teaching materials to the curriculum that goes with the current global realities and to boost teachers' capacity. Christelle Ouase, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Christelle. And we'll transition it to health matters. Some patients, including abandoned babies under the care of dedicated doctors for an extended period, express that the presence of benefactors significantly contributes to their well-being. They attest that such acts of kindness not only assist in meeting their needs, but also instill a renewed sense of hope and purpose for their lives.
At Muhima Hospital, 2 babies were born prematurely and their parents abandoned them, entrusting their care to the hospital staff. One of these babies is about to get 6 months of age and continues to receive attentive care from the doctors, similar to the other baby. Additionally, amidst these challenges, there are patients in the hospital who face difficulties in covering their medical expenses, especially those without insurance coverage. These pressing issues are among those that benefactors have chosen to address with the aim of offering comfort and support to all patients in need. We bath him, clothe him, and feed him milk before putting him to sleep. He no longer requires medication as he is now healed. I arrived at the hospital on February 19th and gave birth to a premature baby. I'm grateful to the benefactors who assisted us. We had a bill of 75,000. But they covered all the expenses. Now I'm simply waiting for my baby to gain enough weight so that we can go home. Some of these benefactors have chosen to visit patients throughout the country, demonstrating that this is a valuable activity that everyone should support. Such efforts restore hope in the lives of patients, particularly those with low incomes.
When we speak of patients, we mean everyone who is suffering from any certain disease. This means that you may be at the hospital or be at your home because you recognize the pain and challenges faced by those who are not well. We strive to extend our support by sharing what we have and offering comfort during the hardships.
In the ceremony of celebrating World Patient Day, various government authorities appreciated the participation and willingness of benefactors visiting patients. The Director General of Muhima Hospital, Stephen Mugisha, highlighted this initiative to provide financial support to patients, emphasizing the investment made in these activities of patient care, which often falls outside of the usual budget planning.
Most of the time we have patients who come without insurances. Others have insurance but do not have means of paying the hospital bills. All of that becomes a burden to the hospital, so we find that such people who do charitable activities, we show them those patients with such issues, since the hospital continues to treat them regardless. And considering their financial capacity, those charity people pay for the hospital bills of such patients.
bakabasha kwishyurira abo barwayi.
As World Patient Day is celebrated, there are patients in hospitals who have chronic diseases and use insurance, but sometimes there are medicines that are not paid for by insurance, and these benefactors help them pay for it. Celebrating this day is characterized by providing meals, hygiene items, and giving them the money that has been collected to help them receive treatment.
Motorcyclists in the city of Kigali applaud the cancellation of various decisions, including the fact that they had to keep their headlights on during the day. Prince Manzi has the details.
At the Kigali Pele Stadium, the Inspector General of the Rwanda National Police, CG Felix Namuhoranye, and other officials explained to motorists various government initiatives to improve their livelihoods. These include the removal of the motorists' contribution to cooperatives, the easy collaboration with the traffic police, the abolition of the decision to turn on the motorcycle lights during the day, and others. What we are seeing this year is unusual. We have never experienced it before as motorists. We cannot deny that we do make some mistakes while on the road, and yet we all studied the traffic laws. What we promise is that we are going to comply with the laws. There will be some changes because when a motorist operates in a good condition, he prospers, and since it is like that, our club will improve. The Rwanda National Police spokesperson, CP Boniface Rutikanga, reiterates that the conclusions from the meeting are open to new productive interactions. We are not changing regulations, and yet we are not easing them. What is going to change is the way we collaborate to comply with them. We are aiming for the better, and we collaborate with the motorists. Police and motorists have agreed to exchange information, and a group of 10 people, including 2 representatives from the motorcycle cooperatives, the Rwanda Utilities and Regulatory Authority, the City of Kigali, the Rwanda Cooperative Agency, and the Rwanda National Police were also formed. The Rwanda Cooperative Agency demonstrates that in 6 months, the livelihoods of the motorists will improve.
And viewers, report brings us to the end of tonight's edition. But before stepping out, this is a quick recap of the edition. President Paul Kagame emphasized the need for addressing the root cause of the long-standing insecurity in eastern DR Congo. Motorcyclists in Kigali City applaud the decision to reverse the order to keep headlights on during the day. And to international matters, voters flocked the ballot boxes in Senegal in a delayed presidential election, as many hope it will bring a desired change. And from this, we come to the end of our tonight's edition. On behalf of the entire news production, as well as the technical team that made it happen, many thanks for being with us. And up until next time, stay safe, and we wish you a great and fruitful week ahead. Goodbye.